Okay, we're back here, shifting Willie with the 359. Pete, give you a little up to speed what we're doing. This panel here was replaced, obviously, you could see. The guy, this is where the stack bolt's on, so the guy hit something with the stack and folded this all in. I took the inner structure out of here and I tried to dolly it out, but what happens with this aluminum is once it gets stretched, it's stretched, and it was oil canning, and I just figured I'm not going to mess with it. So that got replaced. Over here on the driver's side, you'll see that the previous owner screwed some big screwed some big holes in here. And could a guy weld them shut? Probably. Am I a good welder? No. So the question is, do you spend the $230 to replace it? Because if you weld this and it buckles, and plus not only is he got into the extrusion in the inside, so that, you know, I'm gonna have to get this off and dolly that down, and I'm afraid, there's another one down here, I'm afraid it will warp. And to get these panels replaced, you have to take the roof cap off. You have to take the back panel off. So I'm this far, so I decided to replace it. Now, you might think I'm crazy for doing that, but the problem is I don't want to put this whole truck together and then have that warped, and so that's why we're replacing it. Another cool thing about this truck is it's a 1985 extended hood. And I searched and searched and searched, and as you can see, there's not much left of him, but I knew it had good bones because of this. This truck was in New Mexico its whole life, and there's zero corrosion anywhere up in here where they're all rotten. We did pull the roof cap to address, there was some stuff going on here, but we caught it. We blasted that and epoxy primered it. I do like the fiberglass caps that they're making, but I wanted to keep mine original. So as you can see, these things are phenomenal for a 359. Usually you can reach up and honk the horn with your hand. So that's why we did that.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Also, you'll see the friend of mine that owned this, and wasn't a friend of mine, I was just kidding, but he decided instead of buying a sleeper boot, he would punch 9 million holes in here and use 16 tubes of silicone and use a bicycle inner tube to make his own sleeper boot.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
So instead of filling all these holes, and another problem I had with it is the seat actually wore a hole right in the ring. So we went to Dan's shop and got us a new panel, and he big-holed a truck that they're working on down there, so it was so nice to pull this right out of their dumpster, and he said I could have it. So it's in its beautiful shape, as you can see. They didn't wreck it taking it off. Thanks, guys. So I got it hucked on already, and that would be, so that's how we address that. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm sure there's 15 different ways to remove these huck bolts, but what I found is easiest is to just start drilling, and if you're off-centered a little bit, you can kind of steer it with the drill bit. I use a 3/16 bit, and let's see, I put you right over here. I don't center punch them or nothing, I just kind of wing it. So, looks like I'm okay.
Well, here's an extra $1.
You can kind of steer it a little bit once you get it. Kind of, you know, navigate. That's how I take them off. Pretty painless. So we're going to drill this off. And these here are just think of them as big, huge rivets. We're going to drill these the same way, because these are anchored in some inner structures inside, and that's also holding this panel on. So we're going to get this panel off. We're going to clean up this, you know, there's white corrosion in there. We'll get rid of that. We're going to prime the back side of it, prime this, like the factory never did. And then when we get this off, I'll kind of show you what's going on underneath here. And then another neat thing we're going to do, we're going to give him a treat. We're going to clean these door jambs all up, and we're going to replace these hucks with the polished stainless huck. Not that I would take a truck apart just to do that, but being the windshields are out and the roof cap is off, because we're going to get these too, it's easy to do right now. So we are going to attempt to do that. We did sandblast the back sides of these, along with, there was a little rust spot right here where it's missing the hole, you can see. We filled that, we'll have to re-drill it. There was a tiny little rust spot right here where the spotlight goes. We addressed that, we'll have to re-drill it. Other than that, this cab, other than the dash, is in remarkable shape.
I got a good name for this car, Rusty.
If it wasn't for the guy catching the stack and ripping this off, we obviously wouldn't replace it. If it wasn't for them big holes he drilled and ruined that one, we obviously wouldn't replace it. But we're in it this far, you know, so I figured replace both them panels other than to have problems down the road. Okay, we got all our hucks drilled. Everything but these stack mounts, or I call them nut certs. And I'm going to show you how to pop them out. I think this is like a 1/2 inch bit here. You just go until the face of it breaks off like that. Here's another one.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
That's it. Now we're going to see, you know, it gets, where does it end? But if you just keep at it, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this cab apart. And, well, it ain't that bad. So let's see if we can get this out of here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It ain't so bad. See, we can clean up this cancer there. We're going to take and address all this. It's not bad at all. Clean all this up. As you can see down here, we'll get this all, 40 years of stuff, we'll get all that cleaned up. And I can address these holes that someone I wished wouldn't have drilled in there. See what I mean? How, what do they call it? It's dented outward, so I just feel like even if my buddy welded it, you would have still had a hump there because you're not gonna dolly that. It's too thick. So I'm glad I took this off. We can address all this. We can make it pretty. I can file this down along with this hole here. Clean all this up. It's gonna turn out to be a way better project. Next, we are going to, before we get too carried away, I do want to hang my door. And, because this is all loose yet, more or less, I want to hang the door and make sure I have zero issues, because I hate to get the thing all together, hang the door, go, guess what, Shifty Willie, the door don't fit. So we're going to switch gears, hang this door, make sure we got no issues. If we don't, we're going to continue on that side, get that cab corner cleaned up, and get him put back together. Okay, so we got the corner all cleaned up, as you can see. Got it all unscuzzed. Got all that DA'd, ready for primer. My associate is helping me. Huff. We had to do a little cab adjustment right here, but everything come out good. The hinge, I had battery issues. The hinge, we had to wrestle a little bit. It's not a plug and play, but they told me you got to get the 2x4 out and wiggle here and wiggle there. It's fine. Look at them gaps. I don't think they were that good from new. They're beautiful. New door handle. And
It worked!
new latch. New striker pin. Again, this will be coming back off because this is going to get detailed better. This is just for fitment, but we like this. Look at that.
Am I turning you on?
She fits good. There's the hinge. Next, we are going to keep prepping and get all this stuff sealed up with primer. And we're going to try and fit this cab corner on. Okay, we want to show you what we're up to next. We're going to take this new panel. We're going to prime the edges everywhere it goes against another panel. And I did want to show you, this is before. Look at how gross that is, that door jamb and those gross huck rivets.
Gross! Freaking idiot!
Just ugly. That's before. And this is after. Even got those up there that hold the little spotlight thing on. So here's what we're gonna do. Blow some epoxy primer on, get this panel hung on, and once we get it hucked on, we're gonna do the same. We're gonna hang this door and get this door fitting good. Then we're gonna go ahead and start putting the roof cap together in the back panel.